Hey guys, it's Chris from Highline Guitars. You're watching another one of my YouTube guitar building videos. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I hope that by the end of this video, I'll have earned the honor and privilege of your subscription. Over the years, I have made a lot of videos where I talk about applying finish on electric guitars. As a result, I get a lot of comments and questions from viewers who want more details. Recently, however, I've also received some comments from viewers who want to know how the finish affects the tone of an electric guitar. And there was one comment in particular where a viewer actually criticized my use of boiled linseed oil or tung oil as a finish. And the reason why he criticized it is because he said that luthiers who make violins, violas, and cellos don't use those kind of finishes out of concern that they will negatively impact the resonance of the instruments that they build. Well, I totally agree with that. It absolutely will. However, I'm not making violins, violas, or cellos. Those are acoustic instruments. I build electric guitars. Violins, violas, and cellos function the same way that an acoustic guitar works as far as generating the sound and the tone. The acoustic instrument relies heavily on the choice of the wood as well as how the wood is cut, carved, sanded, and shaped, and then how the finish is applied. Those factors greatly contribute to the sound and the tone of the instrument. But with an electric guitar, your sound and your tone is coming from the pickups and the electronics. The wood is merely a support system for the pickups, the electronics, as well as the frets and the strings. The wood and the finish, while it does have an impact on tone, it is very, very small. Furthermore, unlike an acoustic instrument, those factors, the wood and the finish, can't really be manipulated to affect the tone. You're not going to know what the guitar is going to sound like until after it's completely finished. Until you've strung it up, tuned it, intonated it, and then test played it. It's at that point that you'll know exactly what the guitar is going to sound like. With an acoustic instrument, however, as you're building it, you can shape and sand the wood to produce a certain tone, and you can control that. Now, of course, it takes skill and experience to do this, but that's what a skilled and experienced luthier does when they make an acoustic guitar. They will also use finishes that they know are not going to inhibit the resonance of the wood. But with a solid body electric guitar, the wood and the finish simply don't have a significant enough impact to warrant concern. If you build the guitar and you string it up, you tune it, you intonate it, plug it into your amp and play it, and you decide that's not the tone I was hoping for, all you can do to fix it is to change the pickups or the electronics. You can't change the wood, and the effort to change the finish is far more difficult than it's worth. And there's a good chance that if you were to strip all the finish off and apply a different finish, when you go to play the guitar, it's not going to sound that much different. So if you're trying to build a guitar with a certain tone, you have to really focus on the pickups and the electronics and focus less on the kind of finish that is going to be applied. When it comes to applying finish, what I think is the most important thing to do is to look at the wood and decide what would be the best finish to either enhance the beauty of the wood or to cover up how boring the piece of wood looks. So you're either going to be dyeing and staining the wood, or you're going to be painting it. And at that point, there's no real reason to obsess about whether or not your choice is going to affect the tone. Instead, put the finish on that's going to look the best, and then worry about shaping the tone based on the type of pickups and the electronics that you select to equip the guitar. I've made a lot of videos over the years, and based on the comments that I get, and I read every single comment that people leave on my videos, it's become apparent to me that there are a lot of guys who are focused on building electric guitars who want their work to be judged the same way as luthiers who build acoustic guitars. And I can understand that. When I was a kid, I saw a story on the news, and this is a long time ago. This is like 50 years ago. But in this story on the news, the reporter was talking about how Pete Townshend from The Who was trying to elevate the electric guitar to be viewed as a serious musical instrument, like an acoustic guitar or a piano or a violin. And at the time, I think a lot of folks still viewed the electric guitar as a toy or a gimmick. But Pete Townshend was trying to change that. And I remember thinking, that's pretty cool. It would be great if that could actually happen, that people would view the electric guitar as a serious musical instrument. Well, I think some of those attitudes still exist today. I think there are a lot of people who view the electric guitar as a gimmick or a toy. Now, in truth, building an electric guitar, I think, is much easier than building an acoustic instrument. And I know this because I've built a lot of acoustic instruments. I've built acoustic guitars, I've built violins, and I've made mandolins. I know what that takes. And I think that it is a much more complex and sophisticated endeavor than building a solid body electric guitar. They aren't as difficult to make. Now, I know that's going to probably upset some folks out there, and I'm prepared for that. That's fine. But I think it's important to understand that where the complexity in electric guitar comes from is in making the pickups and soldering in all the electronics. A lot of guys who do nothing but build acoustic instruments will never know that difficulty and that level of sophistication and complexity. But for those of us who make our own pickups and solder in the electronics, we know that it's a complicated endeavor. So I think as long as we understand that, we can start to view the electric guitar and what it takes to make them, not necessarily in the same room as the acoustics, but definitely on the same level. I hope that makes sense, and I hope that this video will give you some food for thought. Let me know in the comments section down below what you think about what I've just stated in this video. I know some of you will agree, and some of you are not going to agree, and that's fine. That's why we have the comment section. It gives us all a chance to express ourselves and then maybe shape the opinions of others who will read those comments. At any rate, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Visit eGuitarPlans.com or my Highline Guitars merch store. There's links in the description below, and anything you purchase there is going to help support this channel so I can keep making these guitar building videos. If you want to keep it simple, you can also just click the thanks button and leave a tip in the amount that you think is fair. But as always, until the next episode, take care, stay safe, and I hope you'll be back for future guitar building videos.